Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first ever Bytethat video bit. You know, it's kind of the second because I did the unboxing, but that doesn't really count. My name is Juan Villascourt. I am joined alongside the guys whose names you can see here, Ryan and Keith. We are here to immediately talk about WWE's blockbuster announcement about the WWE Network. The WWE Network is something that's been going on since like 1985, I think. We've been hearing about it. It kept being delayed. The rumors about it not existing or it not going to work were going to happen. But CES, less than 24 hours ago, we found that it's coming out February 24th, 2014. $10 a month, 6-month commitment. So that means that the first time you pay for this is $60. Then I'm assuming after that it's either another $60 or $10 a month. That being said, it's a lot of stuff. Me personally, as a fan, I was really pumped, but I would just want to get right down to it. Guys, thumbs up, thumbs down. What do we got here?
In the words of Batista, thumbs up and thumbs down, because the network is such a bittersweet thing for me. Being from Canada, I don't get it till so much later than everybody else, and it breaks my heart so much.
Yeah, that's always the big problem with these type of video content providers, because like you have Netflix, right? On Canada?
Yes, but it's a different Netflix than American Netflix. I need to acquire American Netflix, and Hulu isn't a thing here or any of those services.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Well, being an American, it is all thumbs up on this end. I'm very excited for it. $10 a month. 6-month commitment, which is fair because they don't want people just, subscribing for a month to get WrestleMania and then unsubscribe. So I understand their viewpoint. So the 6-month commitment, I think, is completely reasonable. We get all 12 pay-per-views, because there was a lot of reports and rumors coming out at the beginning that we weren't sure if we were going to get WrestleMania or that we would just get WrestleMania 30. But from everything I've read, it seems like you get WrestleMania every single year. It's not just a one-time deal. It says all 12 every year. So that's just awesome news. And that right there makes it just worth the price alone. Never mind all this other content that we're going to be getting with it. And, replays of Raw, SmackDown. You get NXT Superstars, which doesn't even air in the US anymore, so you get that. So it's just a lot of great stuff, plus all the backlogs and just new content that they're coming out with. There's a lot to be excited about. What do you guys feel is, obviously probably besides the pay-per-view aspect, because I think that is the main attraction for almost everybody, what do you feel besides that is the most attractive feature for you guys?
Well, for me, it would have to be the fact that every single freaking pay-per-view is going to be out on day one. For WCW, ECW, and for WWE, ECW, and WCW. I mean, the fact of the matter is, a lot of stuff, there's available online. You can find on YouTube WCW matches, but a lot of them are VHS rips. So we don't have this higher quality stuff that WWE has access to. And the fact that that's day freaking one, plus something else that we saw that they slightly revealed is that we're also getting ECW TV stuff. And the last part that I really got excited about, although we really got to see how true that is, when Stone Cold came out, he mentioned that it's going to be unedited. Obviously, there's music with ECW that we got to think about. There's a lot of stuff, but I was looking at the frequently asked questions, and they are going to have mature rated content and TV-14 content. So that's good. But there's other things that I'm not too sure that we'll see unedited.
Plus all the other stuff that the WWE owns that they didn't announce, that's probably going to come in the future, like AWA, Smoky Mountain. Just a central hub to watch all of that is the most exciting thing ever as a wrestling fan. Like, I'm not even sure if when it comes to Canada, I'm ever going to leave my house again.
What is that your most attractive feature for you? Is also the backlog pay-per-views, or is there anything else, Keith?
No, I'm just looking so forward to just diving into that backlog and just consuming as much as I can. The pay-per-view thing is awesome for the simple fact of you don't have to spend $60 a month, $50 a month on a pay-per-view anymore. You get it, plus all this content. It's just like a nice little cherry on top, really.
Absolutely. One thing I actually just read, I don't know if you guys had read about this yet, that it was about NXT, and that there's a chance with the 24/7 live streaming thing that they might actually move to doing NXT as a live show on the network. Obviously, you'd be able to watch it afterwards, but that right there is something I could get really excited about. I don't know if that's 100% confirmed yet, but that would be very interesting. How do you guys feel about that, if that is actually going to be happening?
I would love that, because my biggest concern right now with the content is that, okay, so we have every pay-per-view available, so that's something that, permanently speaking, you can't announce more pay-per-views other than what's out there. But with the 24/7 live thing, they need more content. They need more live content other than just, hey, we're putting the video on demand thing on the stream. So NXT being alive would be awesome for me. I don't know how that would change NXT. That's my biggest concern. We've talked about it. We love NXT, as long as they don't change the format and they keep this independent feeling where it's its own thing. I'm all for it.
Yeah, that could be a dangerous thing, considering the average NXT crowd is a little more unhinged than a regular WWE crowd. They like doing the crazy chants, but it put a lot of pressure on the NXT superstars as well, don't you think? Like, you have to excel, like, really greatly now.
At the same time, though, that's preparing them for a Monday Night Raw type of environment. So
true.
It's probably the best thing for them. And I'm sure WWE knows how to handle a crowd. And I feel like the NXT crowd, they're more energetic, but I don't think they're sort of this problem or anything. If anything, they just add to the show. So I don't see how it could potentially hurt them. So I think it's a really interesting thing, and I hope we do see that in the future.
No, and one thing is that it doesn't just put pressure on NXT. It puts pressure on freaking JTG for like the 2 matches that he has a month on Superstars or something. Because before, I mean, you just mentioned, Ryan, like, Superstar wasn't available on the United States. So now you get all the shows. So say they have 2 million subscribers, right? Within a year or two, that's 2 million people that at one point or another are going to click on Superstars, are going to click on Main Event, that otherwise would never do it. Because even I myself, like, I barely watch Main Event, and it's because it's not immediately. Yeah, and it's because either the guys or it's not as accessible. But with this, the fact that you can put it on your tablet. One thing that I don't know if they confirmed is that if it's like Netflix. Like on Netflix, I can start watching something on TV, but if I go on my tablet, it keeps going. Because if that's the case, that would be freaking awesome. The fact that I could just start watching something, then keep watching it on my bed or another room. I'm already sold on it, but that would be something that I would be really, really happy about.
Another thing I don't know if they revealed anything about yet is, how on Netflix, if 2 people are on it at the same time, it'll say, oh, do you want to sign in as a guest or whatever? They can only have so many people. So they haven't really revealed if only one person can be on it at a time. Or anything like that, how many, if there is some sort of limit, if there's no limit. But it would be nice that, if you're watching a pay-per-view or something, and then, nature calls and you got to run to the bathroom, well, guess what? You can just pop up your mobile phone and you can keep watching WrestleMania while you're doing your business. So, believe it or not, that was an exciting feature for me to learn about.
If you're a wrestling fan, buy a comfortable toilet seat, because you'll probably be spending a lot of time on it, is what we're saying.
#hemorrhoids.
But I mean, like, the other benefits that are so exciting about this, like if you're on vacation or something, you're stuck in a hotel for the weekend, and Extreme Rules is this Sunday, but I'm out of town. Well, you have the pay-per-view on your phone, or if you have your laptop with you. So it's just the accessibility of it is just amazing, and this is so much better than having a channel like an NFL Network type of channel. I think this Netflix-esque feature is just, it's much better, and the accessibility of it just makes the network all that much more interesting.
One thing
Unless
that
you're
John Cena-
vacationing
what-
out of the
what?
country,
Well,
then you're screwed.
well, put it this way: by 2015, let's hope that's all solved. So, I mean, we're already in 2014, and that does kind of suck. But as long as people use like that VPN or a proxy or something, I think at least we can solve that. What I do want to sort of talk about is when John Cena came out. I think he was the one that sounded the most corporate, ironically, considering they had corporate guys out there. He was the one that sounded way too much like I'm here to sell the product. But that being said, what he said was true. Like, this changes everything permanently. I mean, this is not an app. This is not just a new WWE program. This competes with everything outside of WWE. How does this affect TNA? This affects everything else, because right now, okay, I just spent $35 on DVDs at highspots.com, for example. I can get either 10 independent wrestling shows for that price, or for $10, I can get every single pay-per-view ever for WWF, WWE, WCW, ECW. So you got to think long-term. What is the impact this has on wrestling? Is it good? Is it bad? Because when I was listening to Chris Jericho's podcast, when he was talking about Edge, and he was talking about like the Performance Center, and how even though it's great that they have this facility, at the same time it limits everything. So does the app? Do you guys see this being this groundbreaking thing like pay-per-view was, that it made wrestling bigger, or do you just see it as an addition to what's already out there?
This is my biggest fear as far as the whole subscription-based thing goes. Like, pay-per-view buy rates are basically dead because of it. So now that WWE has this comfortable pillow, like say they have another Battleground next year, well, they don't have to worry about the fact that nobody bought it and it like tanked, because they're still going to get their revenue from it. So hopefully it doesn't become a little safety net that they rely on too much.
I think definitely something had to change. I feel everybody agreed that the pay-per-view method is just outdated at this point. It's way too expensive. WWE themselves don't even get that much of a cut from the actual pay-per-view profits. This absolutely, it changes the game. It changes the profit model for WWE in some major ways. And Keith makes a great point about, well, now they, instead of buy rates for each individual pay-per-view, there's only one number that they're concerned about, and that's network subscribers. So are subscribers up this month? Are they down this month? That's their sort of holy grail of performance-based measuring. So it's very interesting. So yeah, maybe they're gonna, sort of phone it in for some pay-per-views now, because, it doesn't matter. We got these guys locked in for 6 months. We can have, 3 shitty shows in a row. So there's some interesting things that could happen. We hope that they're going to retain that quality, because they could always, lose subscribers, and obviously they want to increase that base. But when they lock in for 6 months, they have some breathing room to sort of slip up with a couple of pay-per-views here and there. Not that they don't do that anyway, but it's interesting to see how this will affect the pay-per-views themselves, if they're going to try harder or less, or the quality remains the same.
And one thing we're completely forgetting about are DVDs and Blu-rays, because before anybody comments on this, the argument between Netflix and a Blu-ray is, with Netflix you get the movie, but you don't get the special features. In WWE, we may get a bonus feature, but it's like something that happened on Raw. So now you get technically everything, 100% of the things that you would get in a DVD on the network. So this doesn't just affect pay-per-view buy rates, it affects DVD, it affects Blu-ray, it affects basically the whole thing. So it is a huge risk that they're taking, but I'm really looking forward to it. I do want to sort of talk about one more thing, which is the presentation itself. You know, this was at CES, so it's really weird. WWE at CES. They started off, obviously, you know, we talked about it time and time again. WWE produces these amazing video packages to get you pumped up. It did for me. But what did you guys think of the overall presentation at CES?
One too many teleprompter jokes. It was awesome, but just one too many teleprompter jokes.
They definitely
it's weird not seeing Triple H in a suit.
With that.
Yeah.
They carried on with that Monday Night Wars thing. Yeah, way too much.
Yeah. Plus, what was that executive's name? The guy in the suit that froze, like...
I forget his name. But either way, yeah, it was very strange with Triple H doing the whole DX thing. I was 100% expecting him to go full suit and everything,
of course,
and be professional Triple H.
Of course.
I mean, even on TV, he's more professional than he was at this professional conference. So I think they were just trying to give a little bit of, comedy and just lighten up the presentation a little bit, which I appreciated. It seemed a little weird, but at the same time, I think they didn't want to just be another business presentation. They wanted to have a little levity to it, and it was nice to have Stone Cold come out too, and be a little more, bring a little more like wrestler aspect to it than just people in suits. So even though it was a little silly and it was a little too much, I still appreciated the effort, I guess, that they to lighten things up.
Yeah, it was a great experience, and I mean, it was WWE at CES. I mean, the whole thing, you could feel that. But it's like, once again, John Cena said, whether you either like him, hate him, or WWE,
or
it's its own thing. You can definitely feel like, okay, this is something that you won't get in a Michael Bay presentation or something like that. So, the WWE Network launches
WWE
officially on February 24th. Yeah, maybe. I mean, they took that joke a little too far, too. It seems like they sort of dragged on everything. But we won't keep you guys... yeah, exactly. But we won't keep you with this ranking video, so we do want to thank you guys. Remember, WWE Network launches February 24th, so that is just after one of the Raws. That means that the first pay-per-view that's going to be presented is going to be WrestleMania, correct? So it's going to be a groundbreaking thing. One thing that I personally look forward to is possibly watching videos with you guys or anybody else that's out there on Twitter or YouTube, because if, for example, Ryan and I have this, we have the same content. We can sort of watch Royal Rumble 1992 together. We can watch whatever the hell is in the network. And it creates a brand new experience. So we hope you guys join us once that launches. We'll definitely be talking about way more content. It's definitely a great time to be a wrestling fan. So for Ryan McNulty, Keith Poshik, my name is Juan Velas. Bye. Peace.